Hello everyone, this is our writers meeting with Dr. Laitman. Hello. Hello to all of you. And we will begin with the different issues we have to raise, different questions we want to write about this week. So I'd like to start on the subject of the loneliness of people with disabilities. We were contacted by people from this centers with taking care of people with disability, and they asked what the wisdom of Kabbalah, what does it say about this? Because disabled people were always sort of in a problematic state, and with the coronavirus it became so bad because who will take care of us, who will cook, who will... it's much more difficult with the coronavirus, but the main issue was loneliness, which it seems that people with disabilities felt more urgently. So what does the wisdom of Kabbalah say about it? What does it have to offer? Dr. Laitman, the wisdom of Kabbalah actually has a complete solution to offer in this regard to everyone, including people with disabilities. People are crippled or disabled in various ways, and I think here a big opportunity opens up before us to show everyone how we can bring closer people with disabilities to the rest of the public, which are, as we call them, those more suffering from corona than others. Of course, there are people with different disabilities on different levels, but anyone with a computer monitor in front of him can be connected to us and participate, take part in all our activities for free, with no limitations, 24 hours a day, and to feel that he is in a society, part of a society, and to enter that society in a way where he participates, he's together with everyone, completely equal, and to feel that he's coming back to life. He has a social life, he has study to do, he has culture, education, everything he wants. He's surrounded by friends. I don't see that a person with disability should be it doesn't have much cause to worry about his disability in this case, because we include him among our many friends as an equal. Dr. Laitman, Dudi. So your suggestion is to have him join the Society of Kabbalists? Dr. Laitman, we have to understand what that means. It means a society where people take care of the connection between all of its members. They don't have to study so hard. You do it like you want, but the main subject here at hand is the connection of everyone in human society. And everyone can join that because we see that this is the future of society. Dudi, we want to ask a more general kind of approach. I'd like to see what we can tell a person with disabilities regarding the causes for the loneliness that attacks people just now. And before I tell him go connect to a group of Kabbalists, and Dr. Laitman, we are in nature, within nature, and there's a plan of nature which is slowly coming to fruition We see it through evolution, for example, and so on. Nature is now demanding human society to become closer knit. It wants us to connect more, to achieve an integral humanity, and in a completely global way. Everyone. Over the past 100 years, we have completed our egoistic development, and now we are at the onset of our altruistic development, above the tiny human ego in which we exist here in this world. And we need to begin to understand the next step of gradual development. So people who didn't feel themselves to be so much belonging, so much part of the human society at large, now with everyone stuck in their apartments, shut in, quarantined, I think that it kind of equalizes things. We're all like people with disabilities in a sense, and so we can think. We can start to think about how to achieve a connection between us. Even more. So, with us physically isolated, so we didn't feel so much connection with others. When we walked around, we went on buses, etc. We always felt that we're different, that we're isolated. It's difficult for us to be like the others. But today, if I have a computer at home, I can be just like everyone else. I can join our society, where we now meet together. Everyone is connected together. We play a common game. Actually, I think that from the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, I think that disabled people felt themselves more the equals of everyone else. What is there in the virtual space that compensates for the feeling of loneliness? Dr. Laitman, because we connect above our bodies, above physical limitations. And here, it's not only a difference between men and women, young and old. In general, here we connect internally, from heart to heart. Even though we have conflicting views, times, different inclinations, but here we can start to discuss things, to connect above everything. The fact that we don't have to be interconnected, connected together in a physical sense, to meet somewhere and to see each one in a corporeal, earthly way, that elevates us to the ability to connect above this corporeal nature, above earth, above this nature, in a world of thoughts, a world of wants and desires, a world of feelings. And here it's completely different. We can regard the person as he is, regarding, well, his inner being, inner person, not just how physically strong he is, how pretty a woman is, and and stuff like that. We don't look, we don't see, let's say, these things so much anymore. We can't see, but it's actually more important not to see that, but let's rather look within to the spirituality of people, the humanity of each one. It's completely different. It's not that I'm erasing corporeality, but nevertheless, we don't put an emphasis on it. So that's the important thing. It has importance. There is importance to it, of course, but it's rather limited. Now I still feel that I measure everyone according to his face, how he behaves, and so on. So it's just somehow exchanging a cow for a donkey, as we call it, through the screen. We see, Dr. Laitman, even through the screen, it's not preferable to see. It's preferable to see the person from within, without even knowing from outside, like the surface of him. Do the audio talks, audio chats? Dr. Laitman, perhaps, I'm not saying that people should start doing that now, but perhaps it's too soon, perhaps it's difficult for people, not used to it, but I think, we will begin to use that, only audio, gradually, until we move to just a connection through thoughts alone. Dudi, what do you mean through thought, connection through thought? Dr. Laitman, thoughts like that? Why should I speak with my mouth to your ear and to lie to you with my nice words? Let's connect through thoughts. Dudi, so what do you need the mouth and ears for? Dr. Laitman, indeed, for what? Let's hope that we can be rid of it soon. As one man in one heart, it's written. Let's be like that. Dudi, and about our thoughts, because I see that you peel off layers from me one by one, the physical layer, then even like the speaking and audio. What happens there? Dr. Laitman, everyone connects as one heart. We connect through the hearts. That's it. Then we will feel the beating of this collective heart that we have, that we share. Evening, morning, night, day, closeness and distance between us, and with that, the Creator. Dudi, where is my individuality in that state? Dr. Laitman, it's where, after all these disturbances and disruptions, you nevertheless connect with everyone, and you can feel and even activate the beating of that heart. Dudi, and in that feeling, Dr. Laitman, each one is the equal of others and different to others. We discover that it's common heart. Everyone has a place there. No one is lesser or more than others. Everyone reach an integral connection. Sivan, okay, a person that comes to such a virtual meeting, what should he want to feel in such a meeting? What does he want to give the person he meets? What turns that meeting from just people seeing each other on screen to a connection, an active connection? Dr. Laitman, we touch our hearts together, we break through to each other, and we connect everyone in one heart. Yes? I would ask, so from a different direction, just to break things up a bit, what kind of attitude needs to be established from the society towards the disabled people? Do I need to come to such a meeting? And Dr. Laitman, You don't need anything special. There are no disabled people. If we connect virtually, then what disability is there? Perhaps, God forbid, if someone can't express himself vocally, verbally, then you can call him a disabled person. Then, or if he has a mental disability. But a person who has only a physical disability is no longer considered disabled in this type of connection. Dudi, if I'm disabled, I probably feel inferiority in a sense. Dr. Laitman, no, you stop feeling that completely. Dudi, why? What disconnects that feeling? Dr. Laitman, because you don't feel that you have any disability. God forbid, a problem with your legs. A person who cannot speak, for example, can write. Even if he can't see the text, the keyboard maybe, he can write blindly. It really expands the circle of people who are rid of all their limitations that way, virtually, and we can check how to help them more and more using new technology to allow them to participate, because virtually you're almost unlimited.
Shelley.
But people still live in their bodies despite the virtual connection. So who's supposed to help them? Dr. Laitman. No, I'm sorry. When we connect virtually, we don't need a body, only a heart. Shelley, but we live in this world still. Dr. Laitman, I don't understand what you're saying here. When I used to go dancing, right, and all sorts of get-togethers with young people, well, that was one thing. If I now sit at home and write to others or speak to others, then it's a different kind of meeting. Right, so what limitations do I have in this sense? Sherry, no, it's clear to me that if a person sits at home, that's a different thing. But I think in the beginning, when Dudi raised the issue of the disabled people, he raised the anxiety that there's no one to take care of them, to help them, to bring them medicine and so on. The question is, what can we do there? Because the body still needs taking care of. Dr. Laitman, okay, so the society has to take care of it. In each society, you have people who perhaps are paid to take care of this. They take care of it. I saw this social sector operate this way in many countries, and there's no problem. We're talking about people not with mental disabilities, right? But rather those who have physical disabilities. Only those. Shelley, and if we can return to the subject of the inner connection, when you talk about it, it sounds very nice, but perhaps you can explain, what does it mean to be connected internally? It's something that people don't know right now. What's there? How does it feel in that connection? Dr. Laitman, don't you feel your children? Shelley, I feel that I love them very much. Dr. Laitman, that's just words. Love. What does it mean to love? Shelley, I worry. I mean, do you say if I'm feeling their emotions, what they actually experience? Dr. Laitman, yes, and the extent to which you want to be close to them, to understand them, to feel them. That's a matter of inner connection. We're not talking about spirituality here. We're talking about just emotional connection, the extent to which each one feels the others, to participate with their heart, and how everyone wants to participate with that person with their hearts. And we go to a connection of hearts, where we begin to feel that we're all in one field, sharing our sensations. We're all human beings in our world together, and we all share a common feeling, and then we can take care of the ecology, of the climate, and various things, peace in the world, everything. Without such a connection, we won't have a good connection, humane connection. Yeah, it sounds very humane, and also, if I feel what's in a person's heart, I can't hate them anymore, right? Is that what this generates? Dr. Laitman, so you're sorry you can't hate them anymore? Shelley, no, I'm asking what's the new thing that's revealed? Dr. Laitman, connection will be revealed, and what you discover within the connection is how your heart is joined with their hearts, and that's it. Shelley, so I'll find that if another feels pain, then what, there's a creator that makes it happen, or what, there will be new questions. So where do the pains come from, the suffering, people's problems? Why does it come? Dr. Laitman, let me answer already. What's with you? What is there? What is it? You think that by attacking you'll be more righteous, more correct? No. All right, so listen for a second. What was the question again? The complaint. Shelley, I'm actually, it's just curiosity. If you feel a person's heart, suddenly all the differences disappear. It's as if the walls between us collapse. Well, I suddenly feel that others have some pain, some suffering. And Dr. Laitman, and you feel that suffering. Yes, excellent. So you can connect to another, you with your suffering, he with his suffering, and you both connect. And you will see how you can alleviate the suffering of each other. Yes? It's always like that. Did it ever happen that something bitter happened to you in your life, and then you met with a close friend, and you cry to her, and she understands you, yes, and it makes things easier, more tolerable, life become more, in a way, more nice, where you have someone to cry to. Shelley, so I'll discover that there is a power causing people suffering so that we connect. That's the purpose of it. And Dr. Laitman, when we connect, we can suffer more. The volume of the common heart, the collective heart, it's not just, it doesn't just connect one and another, it rather becomes 4 times bigger. Well, more correctly, 10 times bigger, but at least like that. Not doubled, but quadrupled. Shelley, so what's good about being able to suffer more? Shelley, you have such a huge ego, and you leave it behind, and you understand how it bothers you in life suddenly. And that will cause you suffering until you look at all the people in the world and you're not jealous of anyone, not thinking bad thoughts about anyone. Then you will stop feeling bad completely. Yes, Dudi. Thank you for the first subject. We have enough materials for an article. I'd like to ask, in a broader social sense, we see that the number of corona patients in Israel is rising, but social isolation is being eased up on, and it's felt in the public that governance, the leadership, they sort of lifted their hands off it. They take care more of the economy. What do we do? Dr. Laitman, I think that's very good. I think that's very nice because, first of all, it's not as dangerous as we thought before, on one hand. On the other, it's still a disease, and we need to be careful. We need to take care. And the more we take it in a responsible way, the more responsible we are about it, we will feel better. We will feel our situation becoming better. And I think that at long last, our government must understand that there is a great problem here, a long-term problem. Nature isn't going to eradicate us, but rather to reorganize us. So there doesn't need to be panic, but also we shouldn't lift our hands. We need to enter new stages of development. And we do that mainly by reorganizing the economy in a way where we as government do not maintain our businesses and economy as we did before. Before it was built on an egoistic basis. Each one, the more he could cheat others, he would develop and advance. Now it's something entirely different. Now it's not the same. Rather, the more vital he is for our existence, he needs to exist and we need to maintain him. And if he's not vital, well, we don't need him. He doesn't need to be there. And that's what happens. So much so that, listen, that all businesses, small and great, we weigh them according to their need in terms of sustaining the people and the nation. Those who aren't vital, we give them nothing, no help, nothing. We don't erase their debts. We don't give them loans or anything of the sort. Rather, those who are essential to the people, we help them, we support them, we develop them. And the nation, the state even buys these businesses. It buys them. And they become something which belongs both to the state and those people, or even completely owned by the state. You will see that this is how it will be gradually. We will transition to a sort of partnership between all the citizens and those businesses which remain as essential for the life and the existence of the society. And so we advance to a kind of kibbutz, one big kibbutz. And there's no choice about it, because there are rules and limitations here, such that are completely unrelated to a person's egoistic attitude to the nation, to society, to the people. And so it follows that we reach a form, as Baal Sulam writes, a socialistic form of existence, of governance of the national economy, at least. Of course, it's not in every area. It's not everything. You have shops, you have small businesses, a marketplace, and so on. But if we're talking about large businesses, perhaps you have some kind of unionization. And I think that we will have to advance towards such states. It's not by force. Nobody should force it. But I think nature will be such that the integral society will influence the nature of these businesses, so they become more part of the society, governed by the society, managed by the society. These are businesses which are vital and must remain. Judy, how do you check what's vital for the nation and what isn't? Dr. Laitman, it's according to how much people need that or need the business or not. We're not doing a KGB style opening, closing of businesses, burning of businesses, but rather what the society determines through the free market. The free market is reducing, right? It's growing smaller due to the coronavirus. So it's becoming smaller, down to bare necessities ultimately, and that's how we'll see. Judy, okay, but one person will say that education is crucial, another will say that security, the other will say culture. Dr. Laitman, everything is accepted except things which are negative, which are to the detriment of society. Like now, where you don't sell drugs, weapons to everyone here. All the things which a person needs in his regular life, well, that should remain, that should exist until these businesses die out on their own. Meaning all those that there's no need for. Let's say diamonds, for example. You can close the diamond market because nobody needs diamonds. They're just little stones. What's to it? It's just a social agreement that they have worth. So if there's no longer agreement, if it's valueless now, because what's important to me is to sustain my family, to have them healthy and fed, that's it. Why do I care about such little stones? I don't. And that's how it will be with everything. Dudi, can you talk about the difference between socialism as we know from the previous century, and what you're talking about? Dr. Laitman, what you had then wasn't socialism, it was military socialism, militarized socialism. In a way, that's what, something like that, where the army governed, meaning it wasn't what the people decided are necessary, where the people say, I need this, I want that, but rather the government, that group of those criminals, which took over government, it decided everything for everyone. And so what happened, and millions were killed. Infrastructures were completely dismantled. They did whatever they wanted according to whatever each one of them thought is correct socialism. This is socialism, that is socialism. No. Here, as we say, as we call it, there is no such thing. The people decide what they want. They want more egoism, fine. They want less egoism, good. Nothing is determined from above by force. Rather, we see how nature is reorganizing us in an integral way. And no one will tell you what integral form, like this or like that. No, there's no one making decisions for us. It's all according to the marketplace, according to free choice. And gradually we'll advance that way. And in that free choice, we have the ability to explain to everyone where we're going. They want it, they can accept it. They don't want it, well, they can suffer. But we also have to be free in that marketplace, free to tell everyone our method, our opinion, our views, because you have many others calling themselves Kabbalists, and they will perhaps say differently. each one has a place. Guy, please. Yes, okay, so you described this partnership between a person and the state. This is nationalization, we call it. We talked about it in different talks we had before as one of the solutions of the last generation. Do you see this necessary today? Dr. Laitman, I don't understand. What? Guy's connection is very choppy. You talked about a state where the nation buys businesses, private businesses. Dr. Laitman, yes, let's say Tnuva, dairy conglomerates, instead of selling to China or something, I buy the electricity company. You know, things which are vital for the nation. It could be that the nation will buy it and perhaps agriculture. I don't know. I'm not saying that this is how it must be, but it seems to me, I think, that this is the way in which the integral society develops as well, where you have such big businesses. But here we need to make sure that it won't be to the detriment of the people, that they won't decide on prices and so on, like government. All right, but this is not for now. Why talk about it for now? I'm just throwing it out there as a perspective on where this can take us. Yes. Chaim. So I wanted to ask, you said it's not for now, but it's so let's let it go, because it's really about the competition, monopolies and so on. All these governmental firms, companies, we saw a problem like that. The electricity company, for example, it's a problem. Dr. Laitman, look, I don't know what to tell you about this at the moment. I don't know. Let's say the electricity company is a private company, right? What do they get out of inflating their employment numbers? If it's a proper society, proper company, maybe if you have some corruption there, but if I have a business, I can make do with 50 workers. Why should I have 100? Why shouldn't I reduce, downsize? I don't understand. Guy, yeah, but there is downsizing. That's one of the criticisms now, that many companies are using the coronavirus as an excuse to become more efficient, to downsize, to get rid of undesirable employees and so on. Dr. Laitman, that's natural. Excellent. Guy, but as I understand, there's a difference now, a change in your approach. In previous shows, you were full of criticism about how people are governed and so on, and now you sound much more amicable with Dr. Laitman. No, I have nothing to do with that. I'm saying, of course, every society, as it is, has to take care of itself. There's no argument there. According to our healthy ego, that's what we need to do for now to advance. Guys, so what do you say today about opening up the economy more and more? What do you say about it? Dr. Laitman, let them open. Whoever wants, let them open. I can't say that the diamond store shouldn't open, right? I can't say that. By itself. By himself, let's say, the owner will see. If he has no buyers, he will close. But he can't come to government and cry that he has no money to maintain his shop because for now there's a problem. No. the nation is forbidden from holding any business hostage in a way. I saw on television, it's forbidden from helping maintain any business, rather. I saw that a member of the directorate of the Mashbilat Khan is crying, why isn't the country giving us money, helping us? Everyone laughed, and he was being very serious. He thinks that this is a vital business. How can it not be? Even though this particular business should have been eradicated long, long ago. There's nothing useful or necessary about it. It lives off of donation handouts by the state, basically, if I understand correctly. Guy, okay, so the approach now is let's open the economy and unnecessary businesses will crash because there's no buyer, you don't have buyers. Dr. Laitman, yes, but you mustn't help anyone. The state cannot give people monies. That was a mistake. That's what I shouted about a few meetings ago. How can they do that? Why? Also, Trump did that, and others in various different states, different countries. It's such stupidity, or it's moneyed interests in government. I don't know what they're selling each other there, but it's clear to me that if we don't work for a year, 2, 3, if we won't be able to sustain those businesses, except for bread, the things that are crucial to us, electricity, water, food, healthcare. That's it. That's the main thing. What else do you need? So, even those businesses, it's forbidden for me to sustain artificially. I need to see how they can maintain themselves. And so they may downsize, they may skim off the fat, right? Trim the fat, rather. And so maybe it can be such that they go bankrupt, but without all of those, without interference. And the nation, the state, then buys them at the lowest cost. And then it maintains these things which are absolutely necessary, vital for the public. This is a socialistic form of doing things, but through lack of choice, that's how it's done. Guy, okay, so the OECD published very negative, very bad predictions of economic growth in upcoming years. The interesting thing is that it recommends governments to invest in the physical and mental health of people. You have different gauges by which things are measured, happiness in life, wealth, and so on. And it told people to invest in those things. And how do you see that, Dr. Laitman? Well, I don't take into account any of those numbers or those advisors. You know the kind of people who are there and why they write what they write. Die off, yes. They will die off in any case. Guy, but you have a system of mutual dependency with respect to the citizen. Dr. Laitman, I want to break that up. Guy, so you'll have chaos here. It's worse than 48. Dr. Laitman, yes, go to the bank, break it, and that's it. Who will pay? Who will pay? Guy, ultimately the private citizen pays. Dr. Laitman, and this way you don't? You keep paying that mashbir letzachan. So I need to pay their interests upon interests and debts. Why do I need to maintain the bank? Let the bank fall and my money fall and the mashbir fall, and we will start from zero. You have no choice here. You built a system where everyone are linked together. Nothing will help you but to break this whole thing up. Guy, okay, but how do you now start a positive change? This is complete chaos, what you're suggesting here. It's like the war of... I can't even imagine such a state where the banks collapse, people lose all their money, they lose their homes. How can something good start from that? Grow from that? Dr. Laitman, you have no choice. You don't understand that you have no alternative. You built such a system where you cannot get rid of the ego, but you will need to get rid of the ego. There is no choice. What will you do? Tell me. So start from the easier things. Start from the lighter things. What is the mashbir l'tzarchan? Is that the big issue? You have many such guy. Well, it's one example. Deliberately, I took this perspective to show the Dr. Laitman. For all businesses, you shut the tap. Nobody can get any loan, any support. No relief from the state. No one. That's it. And then if they collapse naturally. Duty. Okay, so we have to continue to another issue. No, Laitman. Okay, I'm telling you, check it, and you will see. Now, it's a natural death. It's a natural death. It's the simplest, easiest, and it will be accepted correctly. The state has no money. What will it do? You tell me. Guy. Well, it's true, but the deficit is already 80,000 billion, and Dr. Laitman. So it's better to put a stop to it now than next year. The situation is certain to deteriorate in any case. And more such business people and lobbyists will come to the government, and then it'll be worse. Duty. So the mashber l'tzarchan, the crisis to the consumer, is a suggestion we get for a title for this talk instead of the mashber l'tzarchan, a shop. Okay, so you just threw a bomb here down here. So let's open it in a more orderly fashion in our next talk. But Dr. Laitman, a bomb in my words? Duty. Yes, I can now flood you with questions on the issue, but I'll try to do it in an orderly fashion and organize it for Sunday. However, we hear that you relate to the coronavirus differently now. It's no longer a serious plague. It's like a kind of flu that we need to know how to take care of. Dr. Laitman. Well, I exaggerate in order to convey the message that it's not the coronavirus that's the issue, but rather what it needs to bring us to. So let's go hand in hand with it so as not to just fight against it. The coronavirus won't pass. It will diminish us. You see what it does. It destroys businesses which are not essential. And that's what we will see as we develop. And the businesses which are essential, we will see how much it can assist them. And more so, we will feel how in a very selective way, a very differential way, it relates to each, in a specific way. It will relate differently to different businesses in terms of how vital they are for the nation as a whole. It won't harm the vital things. Yes, we will expand upon this on our writings meeting Sunday. I invite everyone to send us questions, and we will talk about it. Let's go to the last topic, very clean, very new. Sivan, please. Sivan, yes, so this is a sharp transition. On Sunday is the International Music Day, and we're doing an event of Kabbalah La'am for many people in our circles, people who signed up for the virtual college, and people from the wider public. It's all about music and the music of Kabbalists and the spiritual power in that music. And we want to ask you a few questions, perhaps even to write a promotion clip for the event, to ask, what is music for you? Dr. Laitman, what is music? Music for me? Music for me is the language of the soul. Sivan, what does it mean, the language of the soul? Dr. Laitman, because the soul has no language, has no words. Music, it does have. The soul that wants to express itself, to say something, it plays music. Sivan, and through that music it relays a message, something that soul. Dr. Laitman, yes, but it's not the notes, it's not the sounds that we hear in this world. It's something deeper, much, much deeper. Sivan, so what happens to a person who listens to music, when he lets the music get inside him? What can he do there? Dr. Laitman, it depends on the person. If it clothes on the egoistic desire, it can turn him into a terrible person, and vice versa. We see that musicians were on every side of human society, the fascists as well as the and others. It doesn't mean a thing. Music in our world, it's not that it's an exalted thing, a lofty thing. No, you can have such anti-Semites and people who hate humanity as a whole, like Wagner, and you can have others. It has nothing to do with how excellent composers they were. Rachmaninov, I can give you many people who are such ardent anti-Semites where there was no limit to their hatred of Jews, and with that, their music is very, very special, from the depths of the soul. I don't know what you want to hear from me exactly, Sivan. And we simply want to get more depth, more in-depth explanation about this language. How today in our lives, even in this crisis that we're experiencing now, what is the place for music in our life? Dr. Laitman, it's the highest expression of feelings in our world. Sivan, so this is a way, a language the Creator gave us in order to convey emotion, to cause change. Dr. Laitman, yes, I have no words here. Sivan, yes, it's music, I guess. So, Chaim, can I ask a question? If a person wants to change, wants to come out of his ego and to connect to others, and from that intention he composes music, what does it do to a person listening to such music? Dr. Laitman, perhaps it can help him to an extent. I don't know. I don't really... Even though I was close to music for many years, I didn't see any special emphasis placed by the Rabash on this. Just kind of primitive Hasidic music. Things which don't seem to evoke anything. Chaim, and what about the music of Baal Sulam? Back in the day, you made great efforts to publish Baal Sulam's music. Dr. Laitman, yes, because the great Kabbalist, Baal Sulam, used music to express his emotions. Also, all the music he wrote in 3-4 months, and then he completely stopped doing any music. in general, in his life, he had such little eruptions, if you can call them that, where he did something and then finished it, and that's it. He never came back to it, never returned to it. And this, well, I have nothing to add on this. He didn't want his students to sing all sorts of Hasidic songs, so he composed new music, his music. And so then they all sang these melodies. As part of our lessons and in the congresses we had before the coronavirus, you were very meticulous about the music, using songs to change the mood, the atmosphere. You use music like a means, an instrument. Dr. Laitman, of course it's like that. But why do we need it? We need the music to bring us to enter spirituality. Chaim, what do you want to do with the music? Sometimes you even give instructions as to what song to sing when. What do you want to do by that? Dr. Laitman, I wanted to awaken the hearts. What else? Awaken the hearts. But in truth, we are in such a vortex that in recent times that I don't really feel that we have. I mean, there are new songs, new pieces, but it's not that we can express a kind of the right eruption of feelings that should be born here between us. No, not yet. Let's hope for it to happen. Duty. Are words important in music? Dr. Laitman, no, words. The fact that we write words words. If it's for children who want to sing something, you cannot write words to replace those of King David and so on. It's impossible. Singing is psalms. There's nothing for it. That's everything. There, in 150 songs, he expressed the complete range of everything you can say. Chaim, can you put words to that eruption that you talked about that needs to come? Dr. Laitman, no, but it will come as soon as humanity begins to discover what it has. Norma, last question. Norma, so what's the condition for music to connect people together? Dr. Laitman, I don't think it'll happen now. Maybe through songs or something, but for music to connect people, I think the people themselves need to be different, and the music also different. This is a new degree that we will achieve. Duty. Okay, so this tune cannot be stopped. We will see each other Sunday, same hour. Anyone listening, if you have a question, you're welcome to send the team here questions about everything I've discussed, and we will continue spreading these sublime messages to the public. Thank you, Dr. Laitman. Dr. Laitman, thank you. All the best. Be healthy. And you will truly see how everything falls into place. There are businesses which you have businesses that return, such that don't. We need to see this. We need to see the trend, the waves as they come, and I hope we can return together to our building very soon. I greatly expect this. It still gives. There's a different atmosphere than the way it is now, with me under quarantine and everyone in his corner. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. Let's connect together. And let's hope that from our meetings here around this table, something new will be born. So, Shabbat Shalom, health, happiness, and joy of spirit.